Metro East St. Louis. And one of the things that I did before I started was I took the information. Here we have house size in square feet. I know it's in St. Louis Metro East. We're talking house size, we're talking houses sold, and in 2011. Now, to start with, we need to create our bin numbers. And first we need the title, house size, and I will spell out square feet because the bin title is will be transferred to the chart as the horizontal axis title. Now, to establish our minimum bin number and our increment, we need to know the minimum and maximum house size. I click inside the data on one cell. I go to sort, sort smallest to the largest, and there is 898. That's the minimum. I will just round that to 900 and I write that down. And then I click again here and go largest to smallest, and that is approximately 2,700. I do a simple calculation. That's 1,800 range. And so what I can do here is I will start with 1,000, and since the minimum was 898, I should have a few houses there. And I can try an increment of 200, so I go to 1,200 here. I highlight those two, and I put my cursor right over the lower right hand corner, click, and I drag that down to 2,400. 2,600 would be better because it goes to 2,700. Then I click on data, data analysis, histogram, OK. And here I click on the input range and I highlight from here all the way to the bottom, which will be 202. And then for the bin range, I click here, go to the top, and come highlight that, including the title. I click the labels because the label is the first cell. I click chart output because I do want a chart, and I click output range, and I come here. I skip a column and place that here, so it will then click OK. And I move my chart down, move it over. Now here I want to delete the frequency. I also want to click format and make this larger. Now to start with, let's make it 3 by 5, and normally I would make it 4 by 6, but since I'm working in a limited area here, in order to keep this file from being excessively large, now I click inside the chart here, I click format, format selection, and here it has gap width. I take this to 0 gap width, and that converts a bar chart to a histogram. I go to fill, no fill, and no, solid fill, I'm sorry, and I want that to be a light color to minimize printing cost, and then I go to border color, solid line, black, that's okay. And then I go to layout, data labels, outside in. Now for formatting, I come back to frequency, home, make sure that's 12. This is 10 bold, 10 bold, 10 bold, and here we have 12. Now to place the title, and I can come up here, click, and this would be house sizes for houses sold in St. Louis Metro East during 2011. Click off, click back, decrease it. And here it doesn't work well because St. Louis and Metro East are not on the same line, and they should be. So I take it back to 14. That doesn't work. So then I come here and click. So I have house sizes for houses sold in St. Louis Metro East during 2011. That seems to work. And when we look at this now, the problem is that these numbers here do not represent the entire bar. They are the bin numbers, and they represent the maximum or the upper limit to each bar. Therefore, these 5 houses are houses that are 1,000 square feet or less. This house, the houses located in this bar, are those that have 1,001 square feet, more than 1,001 square feet, but less than 1,200 square feet. So to make this clear, we need to come back to the frequency table, which is this area here. And we change these numbers. So I would have this would be less than 1,000, or it's less than or equal. So I have less than, equal, space, 1,000, enter. Here I have 1,001, space, dash, space, 1,200. And I have 1,201, space, dash, space, 1,400, and so forth. And this creates, once I finish this, this would create adequate labeling to see everything. Now, we have what is called a bimodal distribution here. This would be smaller houses, starter houses, and then this would be larger houses that people either with more money buy, or people who have lived in one of their smaller houses for many years, paid it off, and are now buying a larger house. This would then be copied into Word and pasted. We could have used a smaller increment, 100, but we don't really have sufficient data for that small of an increment.